Hannah, thank you. And this is a remarkable study. It's one that promises to change as well as save lives. It's called the Voices of Black Women Study, and it is a study that's authored by the American Cancer Society. This is a 30-year study, and the idea is that 100,000 women, Black women in this country from 20 states, will be a part of this study. They will biannually give information to the American Cancer Society to look at why there are cancer disparities in this country, why Black women are more likely than any other group of women to die of cancer. And so we are looking at that study, and we are going to be a part of this partnership. Our goal here in Charleston is to get 1,000 women to agree to be a part of this study. There are certain criteria, of course, that women need to be between the ages of 25 and 55. We will talk more about that in just a moment. We have with us a researcher, a physician, as well as an ambassador of the program. We are at Hope Lodge today because someone who is also a part of this program as an ambassador is Lori Thomas. We had a chance to see Lori here at Hope Lodge July 4th. When she and her husband came back to this place that supported her when she was going through her cancer treatment. We take a look at her story now and listen to why she says this program is so important.
Right now you can just sit the cooler down in the kitchen.
Lori and Robert, the Thomases of Little River, South Carolina.
I had to come today in a giving manner instead of a receiving like I had been in the past as a patient, or they don't call us patients here, we're house guests. This is definitely our home away from home.
Meeting and greeting Hope Lodge Charleston house guests.
Actually a guest here, I had cancer. I was going to the Hollins Cancer Center for radiation treatments on a daily basis.
We caught up with the couple laying out a 4th of July spread and on a mission in the very place that gave them free lodging and meals while she underwent radiation and reconstruction for breast cancer. Lori is an ambassador for the American Cancer Society's Voices of Black Women campaign.
I just spoke with a woman today. I made her aware of the Voices of Black Women program. It's a new research program that they're doing to try to get more data on African American women and figure out how to better provide resources to us.
The initiative calls on Black women between the ages of 25 and 55 with no history of cancer to track their health journey for 30 years biannually, contributing valuable data to cancer research and prevention efforts.
I think that tracking it over 30 years is what the scientists need. It's been over 70 years that they've been following other ethnicities. The problem is that African American women especially do not like to participate in research.
The American Cancer Society reports Black women are less likely to participate in clinical research, have access to screening technology, receive a local stage diagnosis. Yet Black women are more likely to be diagnosed with more aggressive tumors, have higher rates of diagnoses than any other racial or ethnic group, and Black women younger than age 50 are twice as likely to die of breast cancer than white women.
When you have studies, we all know that things affect people differently based on ethnicity and race. So by offering these types of research programs, it will help the scientists better understand what we as African American women need so that they can provide those types of treatments.
Lori says her daughter is too young to be a part of this study, but she says her child understands the importance of research and clinical trials.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 50, so I told her the sooner the better for her to make sure she's doing screenings. And I'm sure as she matures and gets a little bit older and get past that young years where she's out there exploring the world, she'll probably join me in these efforts.
And that's what's most important, that women tell other women about the importance of, again, the Voices of Black Women study. This study, once again, is a groundbreaking movement, an opportunity for some 100,000 women in this country to understand why there are cancer disparities. We are joined by our very good friend, Dr. Marvella Ford. She probably looks very familiar to you, as she was also one of our remarkable women. But Dr. Ford is the Associate Director of Community Research and Engagement at the Hollings Cancer Center. You study health disparities, particularly cancer disparities, Dr. Ford. Why do you think this study by the American Cancer Society is so important?
This is truly a groundbreaking study because when research is done, it's done with the purpose of developing a therapy or a treatment that will be rolled out into the clinics. And if Black women are not part of the research, then when the treatments are rolled out in the clinic, when we go to the cancer clinics to receive treatment, it will not be clear the extent to which those treatments will apply equally effectively to Black women as to other groups.
Dr. Ford, you have bravely shared your story with us many times. You have actually received the breast cancer diagnosis twice. So this is important for you and for people who've received this diagnosis and even for those of us who haven't.
This is critically important. This is a chance for us as Black women to have our voices heard. And I can tell you, for those women who are hesitant about joining this study, my team and I actually met with the National American Cancer Society directors who put this study together, and they have assured us and they have shown us how they worked with community groups, sororities, with church leaders from across the country to develop this study in a way that's meaningful and appropriate and important for our communities.
Dr. Ford, historically, some African Americans have been reluctant to participate in studies because of abuse that has happened in the past. How do you assure them that this approach is responsible and one where their information will be respected and will not be abused in any way?
I assure them by sharing the voices of the Black men who were in the Tuskegee study. I had a chance to meet them and their attorney, Mr. Fred Gray. And what those men in the Tuskegee study said is they do not want Black people to not participate in research. It's because of their participation that we now have safeguards in place. We have the informed consent process. That did not exist before the Tuskegee study. We have data and safety monitoring committees that carefully review all of the data in a research study to make sure that people are not being harmed. We have community representation on institutional review boards, which are human rights boards, or institutional review board IRBs, to make sure that the community voices are part of that. And the American Cancer Society is following all of those safeguards.
All right, Dr. Marvella Ford, we want you to stay with us as we continue our conversation, once again telling you about a groundbreaking study authored by the American Cancer Society. It's called Voices of Black Women, an opportunity to find out why there are cancer disparities. This is a way for more women to not only have improved life, but a better chance of survival. Stay with us. We are coming right back with more news. Reporting from Hope Lodge in Charleston, I'm Carolyn Murray.